In September of 2021, I flew to Texas, bought an empty cargo truck, then drove it 1,100 miles back to Wisconsin, where I spent the following year building it out into a tiny living space. Now, I'm planning to travel the US, Mexico, and possibly Canada. I'm Jack Smackey. Sit back and join me while I take you along on a van life adventure.
Oh, good morning. Bed face and everything. Woke up, I figured it's time I give myself a haircut. And what better backdrop to do that than on the beach here. All right, well, you know, I've been here, I'm at Padre Island National Seashore, outside of Corpus Christi, and I've been here now for a couple of days. I arrived on, I got here on Sunday, and I wasn't quite sure, actually no, I got here on Monday, rather. I stopped off in another city for a day to pick up a window molding for the van. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I got here. I'm a little overwhelmed with everything that's been going on. I mean, it may sound pretty counterintuitive, like I'm in a van and, you know, it's super awesome and relaxing out here, but for the last month, you know, since closing my house and leaving and getting here, it's almost been kind of nonstop. Like, you know, I sort of planned it out to meet people and to hang out with friends and family, and I guess I didn't realize how out of touch I was being social, because, you know, I've been more or less living a hermit's life for quite some time now, and didn't really get out much, talk to very many people. And so the last month here, I've stopped and visited several people. It's just been outstanding. You know, their hospitality has been incredible, and I'm truly thankful for that. But since I got here, it's like total decompress from even all of that. So that's kind of cool. But at any rate, this Padre Island National Park. I had a better. Here we go. We got a good angle. Padre Island National Park, it's some 60 miles, 70 miles total, but 60 miles of dispersed beach, dispersed camping. Like literally you can drive 60 miles down this beach and camp. You're good for 14 days, and I guess 28 days in a calendar year, but 14 days in a continuous cycle. So I'm gonna probably try to stick it out as long as I can. I'm kind of waiting for the SpaceX Starship launch announcement, the first orbital launch, and so then that's kind of my ticket down to Brownsville. But at any rate, this place is beautiful. I mean, it's 70, 75 degrees, you know, quite humid, obviously, we're right on the ocean, but comfortable, quiet. There's trucks, vans, tents, and campers, you know, riddled all the way up and down here. Now, keep in mind, I said 60 miles. I've only come about a mile down. And they say after 5 miles, you don't want to go past the 5-mile marker without a four-wheel drive. You know, you're obviously limited access down there. Very, very, very little cell service. It's hit and miss for me. I can't send a photo. I can barely read Twitter, if that makes any sense to you guys that use Twitter. It just won't load. I don't have any signal. I got to get up on the dune over there for a minute. But yeah, beautiful out here, comfortable. Yesterday I had a walk, well, yesterday morning I had a walk up toward where I entered, just to kind of see how far up the beach I'd gone. and I knew that there was a dumpster up there and a dump station, so I kind of wanted to see how far it was for me to walk. Turned out to be about a mile one way, roughly about a mile, a little less than a mile. So that afternoon, yesterday afternoon, I took my trash up there and dumped it in the dumpster and came back. So that was a good hour-long walk. It was nice. But I did that because it's almost spring break here. And being that I'm within the first mile of the beach, I suspect, I don't know, that this might become a little bit more busy and a few more vans might be in and about. So I didn't really want to be driving in and out of here unless I absolutely have to. I did witness yesterday a big panel van, like a Sprinter, looked like it was single rear wheel, possibly two-wheel drive. They got stuck. I didn't see them go in and get stuck, but they were in the process of getting dug out. And funny thing is they bolted. They didn't find another suitable spot. They just left. They pulled out and left. So they weren't comfortable with the situation. So I don't really want to be backing in, pulling into the soft sand. The beach, like right next to the water here, is, you know, this is all solid and cars running up and down all the time down this beach here. But once you get up into the soft sand, then it becomes a little bit of an issue. You got to be careful. My tires are overinflated for traveling. I guess if I get into trouble, I could probably let some air out. I do have a compressor on hand, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, it's just gorgeous here, man. Beautiful morning. The sunrise, the moon last night was red. Gorgeous. Right now, we've got about a 1 foot swing on the tide from what I see. But over the course of the next 6-7 days, we're probably going to see a couple of feet difference here, so I'm going to try to keep an eye on that. I'm pretty confident we're going to be safe where we are unless something extravagant happens like a storm, but I don't see that forecasted. I've been kind of paying attention to that, looking for bad weather. We are expecting some wind, so I don't know if that's going to affect the tide or the level of water here or not, but at any rate, yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, after leaving Houston, I had a problem with my windows. Not after Houston, I've had a problem with this a couple of times already before. One of my windows here was leaking, and I suspected it was the rubber flashing that goes in. It's not really a super duper way to seal things against, you know, horrible weather, but it served a purpose. Now this side I'm standing on worked fine. It stayed, you know, it was nice, it didn't leak, but the other side, the rubber seemed to be curled against the glass, and so it would pool the water and drain in, and I was getting a lot of water in when it was raining, so I had to do something about that. So I looked around. I probably could have found maybe something Saturday in Houston, but I didn't really push. I was having a great time interacting with the Drachma and one chick who graciously hosted me over the weekend. So I didn't really venture out, but I did do some research trying to find a place. Decided that I was going to make my way towards Corpus Christi via Victoria, Texas for a night. So I left Sunday. Everything was closed, but there was 3 RV places that I found on the maps, and one of them couldn't help me, a little small mom and pop place, and then the other one was a bigger unit. And I went in there, and I was there right bright and early, 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, management was having a meeting, so I couldn't, you know, I couldn't really do anything. A real helpful dude, just I guess a regular worker or maintenance guy or whatever his role was. I'm not entirely sure. He found and cut me a piece of this rubber flashing, and got the part number and everything. So I just had to wait to pay for it. It's a good thing I didn't put it in. It's a really good thing I didn't put it in right then and there and then just pay for it, because the dude finally shows up that can ring me up, and he quotes me a price of like $5.81 an inch. And I had 29 inches of this rubber seal on the counter, and I said, what? I kind of went all Karen for a second, because, you know, I was flabbergasted. Like, wait a second here, that's like $160 worth of rubber. You know, there's no way. I told him, I said, look, there's absolutely no way. I'm like, there's no possible way that rubber trim is $160. That little tiny piece. I said, can you just look at how ridiculous that is and how that sounds? I said to the guy. He's like, well, I don't know. That's what the price says, and that's how we bill it out. You know, we bill it out. We don't normally sell this to like retail customers. It's all just, you know, billed back to the company for warranty stuff. And I said, that's wrong. I'm telling you, there's no way that number is right. $5.61 or 81 cents a foot, or an inch rather. I said, no. I said, I'm not paying 160 bucks for this. I said, not happening. I said, I'm sorry, but that's not happening. And I was kind of pissed because I'd already taken out my old rubber, and it's a bit of a finagling to get it back in there, and had to borrow their step stool, which, you know, was fine. But so about the time that I got my old weather stripping back in the window, dude comes back out and says, my bad, my mistake. I went to the manufacturer's website, and they listed as per inch or per foot, not per inch. Our number is wrong, so let me fix that for you. And I said, okay, let's go see. And I go back in, and instead of $160, it was like $12. I told the guy I'd be willing to pay him 20 bucks for it. I mean, that's what I figured it was worth, $20 for, you know, a couple of feet of this rubber flashing weather strip. But at the end of the day, I got it for like $12 or $13, and I thanked him. I apologized for being a bit of a Karen. I said, I have nothing against you, I'm not mad at you, I'm flabbergasted at the fact that could possibly be a thing. $160 for that stupid rubber flashing. But yeah, that's it right there. This little rubber flashing, it's a total of, well, after I've redid it, it was 28 inches. So yeah, that's it. But now it seals up better now. Hopefully I won't get any more leaking out of that window. But that's quite the story right there, that's for sure. But at any rate, what do you say we take a look up here on the dune? Now, I don't know if you're supposed to crawl up here or not, but I'm probably thinking that you're not supposed to. But we're not going too far up here. It's about the only way you're going to get signal in the cell phone. But yeah, this is national grasslands here. It's just beautiful. Unfortunate, can't fly a drone. I don't know what the deal would be to get into the water and fly it from the water, but I don't know how iffy that would be. So I'm just gonna forego the drone. But yeah, we're here. I'm here for I don't know, 14 days. We're gonna push it out. I should have enough food, water to make this happen. You know, and if I don't, it's not that big of a deal. There is a campground, part of the national forest, that does have you could pay. It's like $14, I think, is what someone told me. $14 a night. It's got water and trash and all that stuff, so it's a little bit more better campsite laid out. So, but still, there's no food or anything like that, so I would actually have to go back to Corpus Christi, which is, well, I gotta say 10 or 15 miles or more than that, 20 miles probably, by the time of where I'm at right here. I mean, I'm out here. This island is big, and everything sort of stops. There was the road stopped at a park station. I showed him my national park pass and got some information and went along my way. So I mean, we're out here. I mean, this is a long ways out here, and I'm telling you, 60 miles, 50 miles down that way, man, it's crazy. I can't even imagine. I mean, if you were in a 4x4 all-terrain kind of a vehicle that is all geared up, camp and such like that, that would be fun, you know. Take advantage of the 14 days to travel all the way down that 60 miles down to the other end and then come back. That would be neat, I think. But not in my van. Van's only 2-wheel drive, and I definitely don't want to get that sucker stuck at 10,000, 11,000 pounds. That would be bad. That would be really bad. But yeah, beautiful. So beautiful right here. Still hoping to make a few connections with people, but everyone seems quite content to be to themselves. I guess that's just the nature of the situation out here. You know, everyone kind of gives everybody some space. If you look back behind me there, you know, everyone's kind of spaced out, and this is like all within the first mile of this beach. You know, I've got somebody, you know, down that way that's, I don't know, 500-600 feet down, and nearest guy to this side over here, he's probably 100, 150. But otherwise, everyone's giving each other a lot of space and not really sitting on top of each other, where there's really no reason to do. I mean, seriously, to crawl up somebody's butt here would be kind of silly, considering how much beach. Now, my first time here, I was a little worried. I'm like, you know, crapping my pants driving down the beach going, man, am I going to get stuck or what, you know? And I kept looking at places that I wanted to pull in, and the sand looked so soft, and I'm like, I don't know. And finally, the place I did pull in looked a little bit more packed down than others, and so I took a chance and I drove in there. I drove in there nice and easy, didn't really want to push it or anything, and it rocked right up, and I'm almost level, but not quite level enough. Well, it's okay. I'm not bad. It's pretty good. Damn humid here. 60, 70 degrees, but humid. But hey, you know, can't complain about that. Look at this. We're on a dang beach. It's beautiful. I mean, I've never in my mind would I've thought I'd be camping out on a beach like this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to check out next week's video. And if you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe.